With all the negative press out there on real estate, we would expect foreclosures to be blowing up right now. Think again. We're going to go over foreclosures, how they handle throughout the year. Where are we at right now with them? That is a big topic today in Real Estate Daily. Welcome, everybody. My name is Troy, and every day we go over the latest news in real estate, mortgage, and the housing market. Now, before we jump into it, hit that subscribe button. We're going to give you the best 5 to 10 minutes in real estate. Guys, there's a lot of little things that are going on out here that we keep hearing in the media, such as the housing market's crashing. That would mean foreclosures going through the roof. Nobody's buying. The sentiment's really bad. We keep hearing all these things, but when we look at the numbers say something different. These are all narratives that we're hearing from the media, but it's not really true. Why? Why are people saying this? Why is the media saying it? Why is CNBC saying it? Why is Fortune, Wall Street Journal? Why are they saying all these things? I can go over the New York Times, all the garbage that's out there. Why are they saying it? Because it sells. They want people to think that the housing market is in complete disarray. Well, let me go over a few numbers. Let's cue up the very first one. This is from CNBC. But before we jump into this, we are up. Anybody, or I should say, the national average of anyone buying their homes a year ago. So that would be December 2022 to December 2021. They have increased equity over that time. So does it make sense to say we're housing markets collapsing, housing markets crashing, foreclosure going through the roof? It is all a lie. They are lying to you bold-faced, or they're taking pieces of information and twisting them to exactly what they want for you to hear. So at the parties or at the Thanksgiving table or at Christmas table, they want to depress you that the whole world is falling apart, especially the housing. But let's go take a look at it. This is CNBC today, and it's very interesting. This is a gentleman named Andy Walden of Black Knight. Now, we go over Black Knight. That's where we get our interest rates on a daily basis, right? Now, they interview him, and let's go read the headline. It says, trajectory for foreclosures will be on the rise next year, says Black Knight's Andy Walden. But if you actually listen to what he's talking about foreclosures are way lower than they typically have been in years. Number two, that we're looking at maybe some foreclosures somewhere at the end of 2023, maybe an uptick there. But in reality, we won't see, unless the housing market stays bad for many, many years going into 2025, we just won't see any decent amount of foreclosures hitting the market. But of course, CNBC knows that doesn't sell. They want to go and show a negative headline like this. It's pretty funny to look at. Even when I look at housing starts changes, it's hardly changed as well. Let's go to the next one. Now let's go look at the real numbers, guys. The real numbers of what's going on with foreclosure. This is from the DS News, and we're going to go roll up here, and it says, we're going to go read it right here. Total U.S. loan delinquency rates, loans 30 or more days past due, but not in foreclosure. So that it's the first sign of foreclosures, the first step. That's what a lot of people look at. Month over month change, it's gone up 3%. So we're at nothing, still staying at nothing. But more importantly, let's go look at this. Year over year, we are down 16%. There were 16% more delinquencies a year ago than they were today. This is ridiculous. I mean, to say that we're going through the roof and this just doesn't make any sense whatsoever. There is very little foreclosures. We go over it every single week. I think we've gone flat now for the past 2 months. And the active foreclosures in Southern California is virtually nothing. It's less than 1%. Okay. And then if you break it down in the MLS on what actually a foreclosure is it a bank foreclosure? Well, it can be a hard money foreclosure, meaning that, some of the flippers out there just didn't quite know what they're doing And so they went and got foreclosed by the hard money lender. We're seeing quite a lot of those out there. We've seen quite a lot of those now for the past year, 2 years, 3 years. It's just poor management of money. It's, the allure of being rich, flipping homes with all the programs on TV. But when it's all said and done, that makes up a huge majority of foreclosures that are happening right now. Anybody that's out there and they have equity in their house, why would you let your house go into foreclosure? You'd sell your house. Now, we'll go one step further. If I was getting foreclosed on, what's the next step? If my house is foreclosed, it goes on the courthouse steps, which with all the equity in homes right now, they're being scooped up by other, let's say, investors that are taking those, or even hedge funds are scooping up all those properties. Why let it go to foreclosure and there actually is meat on the bone for the bank or for the institution? Why not it scooped up by other entities that are out there going to take those homes and flip it so they never actually see a foreclosure market or an asset management company? Doesn't make any sense. That's what the reality of this is. Next article says U.S. home prices slipped for the 4th month. California metros has the 3 biggest drops. Guys, this is for one reason, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, been doing this for over 15 years. This is my humble opinion. Let's go look at the worst of the worst of home values going down. San Francisco. San Francisco is a complete dump. Okay, let's be honest. It's been a dump. The mayor's a dump. They got rid of the prosecutor out there because he just put crime back on the streets. Homeless is out of control. They're putting porta potties everywhere in the city for the homeless. Can you imagine having a $4 million home with a porta potty next to you and the homeless walking up and down your street? Yes. Me, you, and everybody else would be wanting to leave that dumpster fire in San Francisco. That's what's happening. The woke get broke, and that's what's happening there in San Francisco. Also in San Francisco, they have frozen rents. They did rent control and rent freezes for the past 2-3 years. So an investor is now losing money, or has a potential of losing money. When we're seeing inflation go up 8-9%, but he can't raise rents, but he has to maintain the property, pull money out of his pocket. It doesn't make any sense. Has undervalued renters in there because their rents aren't going up. It becomes a dump. Look at the dumps that are out here. Seattle, come on. Again, same stuff. Who wants the homeless? If you can't handle the homeless population, you have no care. You give them the homeless rights. Well, you don't give property owners rights. This is what's happening. We go down here, San Diego, downtown. I continue to see all those high rises up there where people have paid $400,000 or $500,000 a month. For their high rise, and they're paying $500 in HOA fees, and they have to step over homeless out there. What is happening to the city? Okay, the city just doesn't care. They're at the point where what's more important, defunding the police or taking care of the homeless? Okay, they don't care. Look at Los Angeles. They lump Los Angeles and Orange County together. They're completely 2 different metros. I don't have no clue why they did this, but this is the typical. There's very little rent control. There's no rent control in Orange County. We went over last week that Santa Ana is trying to do some type of rent control, but the city of Los Angeles is full of rent control. Anyone out there, any investor, any person wanting to buy property that has a tenant in place since March or April of 2020 until at this moment, January 1st of 2024. Yes, guys, I'm not talking 2023. I'm talking 2024. There's a rent freeze on it. So for the last 3 years, you can't even raise rents. With that being said, you just kill the value of properties out there. Who wants to buy homes when you just leave the entire city in a dump? The homeless, the mayor said there's only 40,000 homeless there. Okay, I think there's 100,000 homeless. All the time they want to underestimate what's going on because they don't want to be embarrassed by what's happening. You defund the police. You then have people out there that don't want to, they're just investors that just are done with the city, selling off their properties, want nothing to do with it. It just hurts the value out there. And that's what you're seeing is in the top cities that have the biggest drop-offs is because they are not the cities are ran into the ground. They're literally ran into the ground. So I laugh on here. Let's go take a look at this. All right, we have Tampa in here. We have Miami at the very bottom here. But let's go look at it. Where's a Texas city? Oh, Dallas is right here, major metro area where homeless gather. But in the suburbs, they have a lot of, some of the suburbs will not allow homeless there. They simply won't. They keep them moving on because it keeps home values up. You have to have a solution for homeless. You either build, build areas in the city where the homeless go, have homeless camps if they want to live there, but having them everywhere and the crime that's everywhere that they bring is not good. Am I an advocate for homeless? Absolutely. I want to see a better life for those people if they want them, if they want to. But if you're looking at the federal government and the Fed raising rates to destroy jobs, to put people on the street, what are we really doing here? And the homeless population keeps going up. Thank you for the current administration for that. The Fed is going to continue to raise rates, and their only sole responsibility is to crush job creation and to crush demand. And this is the exact example of what they are trying to do.
And I think they will most likely.
Yes. Oops. There we go. Hit my phone. All right, next. All right, five surprises inside California's population losses. Doesn't this tie into our last article? Guys, the article that says that California's is the three top areas of which the home prices are devalued. Now we're looking at, surprise, California population keeps going down. Why? Thank you very much for our governor, Gavin Newsom, who will never tell you why the population keeps going down. So it says 113,649 fewer Californians in a year. Guys, we're down 250,000 Californians this year. We were down 350,000 Californians the year before. We lost a whole House of Representatives seat. The population of California is going down for one reason. The state is running as a dumpster fire. It completely is. They have, once the current administration got in, they passed a 3.7 or $3.8 trillion bill. They bailed out states. They bailed out California. I think New York and California got the most money because they ran the worst, and they're already running out of that money. They frivolously spend it on God knows what. Let's go figure that out. It's terrible what they're doing. That doesn't make any sense. Again, we are looking at the destruction of the state of California. Once the most proud state of the 50 states is now a blunt of jokes, and his governor wants to run for, we all know secretly he wants to run for president, but he just can't get past that our current president wants to re-up again and wants to rerun again in 2024. Cool, but not cool. Next. All right. This isn't good. We're starting to see interest rates go up. And I told you, every time the Fed meets, there's one huge reaction that happens on the market, good, bad, or indifferent. But after thinking about it, what happened? Everyone got excited when the Fed met. They raised interest rates by 50 basis points. Oh, we're going down from 75 to 80. The world's not burning anymore. Then here comes, so what happens, interest rates drop, they got all excited, and then they heard Powell talk afterwards saying there's going to be future raises and that they don't see a pivot till sometime either stopping this year, the middle of this year, or not lowering rates until 2023 or 2024, 2025. Well, now it's starting to sink in a little. And mortgage companies are going, oh my, once we raise rates, we'll have less buyers. And if we have less buyers, we have a chance of making a lot less money. And a lot less money means we might be out of business, which we're seeing these big mortgage companies folding. We're going to see 2023 be the year of the lender really hurting, especially on February 1st. We see that they're going to raise interest rates, or the Fed's going to raise another 0.25% at best, another 50 basis points at worst. This is going to hurt the housing market at the moment. It needs to have that momentum back. The Fed is here to crush not the housing market, the employment market, and to stop spending. They want the country to go into a recession, yet our government keeps spending money, $1.7 trillion bill on useless, worthless things out there, looking at their own agenda. Guys, this isn't good. We're at 6.4. We just went up 3 basis points last week. Went up, we're pretty flat on the FHA. Look at Jumbo. Emmy, my producer, have you seen Jumbo ever go up that much?
No.
Have you? 41 basis points up. Here in California, what do you rely on the most? Jumbo. Jumbo loans or high balance FHA. This is not good. Look at conforming. Went up 29 basis points. Guys, the new year's going to happen. We're going to see houses come out, hopefully, hit the market. The buyers are going to be strangled by interest rates. Like I said to you, the entire month of December, it was the best time to buy in the entire year. Hopefully, some of you out there took my advice and bought a house. If not, it's not going to look good going into 2023 if the Fed continues to raise rates and we continue to see interest rates go up. Guys, thank you very much for joining me today. Don't want to be, doom and gloom here. That's not what I'm coming off as. Number one, I want you guys to understand there's not foreclosures out there. If you're waiting for a foreclosure, ain't not going to happen. Number two, we saw that year over year, housing prices have gone up. Not what the media wants to tell you, but that's the truth. Number three, I'm hoping that we somehow slow down or stop more interest rates, but it looks like they're just exploding up right now. This is not good going into 2023. Yes, the Fed's doing their job. If you want to call it their job, destroying demand, that's what they're doing. Guys, take care. I have a bunch of cool articles for you tomorrow to go over as well. I will see you tomorrow. Peace.